Library.
And I'm Cece. I'm the Adult Services Intern here at the Ames Public Library.
And we're here to give you some recommendations for our second annual 12 to Try Reading Challenge. So for the month of March, the challenge is a book featuring a body positive message. Stay tuned for some of our suggestions and swing by the library to check out our display with lots more options. So would you like to go first, Cece?
Yeah, sure. So my first book is Year of the Tiger by Alice Wong. And it's a really great mishmash of media. It's a collection of previously published works, essays, photos, social media posts, illustrations, coloring pages, and even a crossword, and some recipes.
Wow.
It's all by Alice Wong, who's an Asian American disability rights activist who founded the Disability Visibility Project and calls herself a proud troublemaker. So this book discusses everything from ableism to disability pride, racial identity, and disabled people being more than just inspiration for able-bodied people. And it really emphasizes the fact that every body and every person deserves visibility and respect and representation.
So the first book that I'm going to talk about is actually a series of 3 books. And the first one is checked out, so I have the ebook version here. Is Olivia Dade's Spoiler Alert. So all the books in this series kind of revolve around a Game of Thrones style TV show. They call it Gods of the Gates. And the main characters are Marcus and April. Marcus is an actor in the show, and he's known for being a buff guy, but not really the brains of the operation. Secretly, though, he writes fan fiction, he's a super nerd, and he struggles with dyslexia. And April is a freelance geologist, a job I didn't know existed, and also writes fan fiction and is a plus-size woman and a cosplayer. And he comes to her defense and asks her out when some online bullies start making fun of her cosplay. And he finds out that they've been reading each other's fan fiction for years, but he doesn't want to mess up and ruin their friendship by telling her that, even though this romance has started to bloom. It's a really beautiful book because they've both struggled with not feeling accepted for who they are in different ways. And throughout the book, April understands the discrimination that she faces for being a plus size or fat person in society, but she sees herself as strong and capable throughout. She never really doubts or has those own negative thoughts about herself, which I think is really beautiful. So I also brought the other 2 books in that series. This one is All the Feels, which is the second book about another character on the show. And then I really wanted to talk about the third one too. This is Shipwrecked. And it features these 2 characters who are both stars of this Game of Thrones style show. And they've been filming essentially by themselves on a remote island for 6 years. The twist to that is that they had a one-night stand the night before filming started before they realized they were each other's co-stars. So there's a lot of dramatic tension throughout. So all of the books that I've read by Olivia Dade have plus-size heroines who deal with fat discrimination, bullying, negative opinions of their family members, and all of those sorts of themes, but they never lose faith in themselves or have their self-worth tied to that. And I would recommend this series for fans of contemporary romances like those of Jasmine Guillory, Tessa Bailey, or Emily Henry, or for anybody who loves fan fiction, since little snippets of that are interspersed throughout too. So what's your next pick, Cece?
Awesome. My next one is Fat Girls Hiking, an inclusive guide to getting outdoors at any size or ability by Summer Michaud-Skog, I think is how you pronounce it. And I followed the Fat Girls Hiking page on Instagram years ago, and it's wonderful. It started in 2015 as Summer's account posting about her experiences getting into hiking as a fat person, which, most of the posts about hiking on social media especially are, they showcase a very narrow range of experiences, usually thin, able-bodied, white, usually cisgender women. And Summer wanted to showcase that hiking is for everyone. The outdoors are for everyone. And it's really fun and rewarding and challenging, and connecting with nature is just awesome. And like I said, I followed them years ago. The account grew from just her account into a huge, awesome, inclusive community of people of all sizes and abilities. And it encourages them to go out there and tackle the trail. This book is sort of the guidebook for anybody wondering how to start. It talks about the experiences of people in the community, gives advice, gives practical advice. It even gives like some trail reviews, and it's got some great pictures throughout. It's I'm gonna flip through it here.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just overall, it's really awesome, and it makes everybody, it makes it feel like everybody has a place out there, and yeah, I can't recommend it enough.
Great. It sounds like a really phenomenal book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next one is What We Don't Talk About When We Talk About Fat by Aubrey Gordon. When I read this book for the first time, every time I finished a chapter, I did a bunch of quotes from the book and snippets that I shared on my Facebook page, and kind of did an informal book club with my Facebook friends, which was a lot of fun. This was the first time that I really read a comprehensive discussion of like the BMI system, which is based on white male bodies and equates thinness with healthiness, which isn't always the case. It also talks a lot about weight cycling or yo-yo dieting, societal bias and discrimination against fat bodies, and fat representation in media like reality TV and movies and TV shows. So you'll learn, you'll feel justified, you'll feel seen, you'll feel angry. I would recommend it for readers of nonfiction and memoir, full stop. I have friends of all different body types who have read and got something out of it. So yeah, those are our recommendations for the month of March. If you're looking for some additional books to read, come by the library and ask us for help, or check out our displays. Thanks for participating.